At the apex of the subtle energy body sits the crown chakra, the sacred gateway through which individual awareness connects to universal consciousness, divine purpose, and ultimate reality. When this rarefied center becomes distorted and fragmented, often forced open through intense spiritual shock, substance abuse, or severe ungrounding, the delicate bridge between the finite self and the infinite collapses. Rather than experiencing peaceful unity with the divine, consciousness becomes dangerously scattered, leaving the individual trapped in a confusing labyrinth of messianic delusion, existential dread, and profound spiritual alienation from the physical world. Welcome to the Sovereign Renaissance, a channel through the arcane, mystical, and occult science. In subtle energy anatomy, the crown chakra is positioned at the top of the head or suspended just above it, governed by pure consciousness, thought, and cosmic energy. The crown chakra is the ultimate spiritual center. It represents total transcendence, divine oneness, direct connection to the source or Godhead, and the dissolution of the individual ego. While lower chakras handle worldly integration and middle chakras manage perception and love, the crown governs how individual awareness relates to the divine infinite. A fragmented and distorted crown chakra compromises the soul relationships to ultimate reality, exposing the practitioner to the most profound spiritual hazards on the path. Energetic mechanics, fragmentation versus distortion. To understand the spiritual risks at this rarefied level, consider how cosmic consciousness becomes corrupted. Fragmentation, a shattered vessel, occurs when high frequency spiritual energy, such as a sudden, spontaneous Kundalini surge, intense drug trips, or spiritual shock, floods the crown before the lower chakras are prepared. The boundary between the individual mind and cosmic infinity snaps. Consciousness becomes scattered across dimensions, unable to hold a stable point of focus in the physical body. Distortion, the warped crown, false oneness, occurs when the ego attaches itself to the crown's transcendental experiences. Rather than dissolving the ego, the spiritual energy inflates it, corrupting the concept of I am one with God into I am God. Core spiritual dangers: the messianic delusion and the God complex. The highest spiritual truth of the crown is non duality, the realization that all creation is interconnected with the divine. The danger: when an unhealed ego hijacks a distorted crown, it personalizes this universal realization. The individual begins to believe that they are specifically are a chosen messiah, an avatar, or a divine savior sent to redeem the world. They view their personal thoughts as absolute cosmic decrees, becoming immune to criticism or reality testing. Spiritual nihilism and existence rejection. When the crown is fragmented, an individual may experience the spiritual void or emptiness without the grounding warmth of the heart or root centers. The danger: they misinterpret the illusionary nature of the material world as meaning that physical life is completely meaningless, evil, or worthless. This produces profound spiritual nihilism, existential despair, clinical detachment from loved ones, and a dangerous apathy towards human suffering. Severe ungrounding or spiritual bypassing at the highest level. A shattered crown center serves as the soul's anchor to the physical plane. The danger: the person effectively abandons their physical existence. They stop caring for their body, neglect basic survival needs such as finances, family, or shelter. They view everyday life with open contempt. They use higher dimensions as an escape hatch to avoid facing real world trauma, mental health struggles, or personal accountability. Possession, psychic vulnerability, and soul loss syndrome. The crown chakra is the primary gateway through which spiritual guidance enters the aura. The danger: forcing or fragmenting this crown portal without proper spiritual discipline leaves the spiritual house without a roof. Lacking energetic boundaries, the individual becomes extremely vulnerable to dark, subtle influences, parasitic spiritual attachments, or astral hijacking, often feeling utterly lost, untethered, and, and controlled by forces outside themselves. Remediation: re anchoring spirit into matter. Remediating a shattered or inflated crown chakra requires stepping completely away from abstract spiritual practices and pulling consciousness back down to earth. Complete cessation of crown focus practices. Immediately stop crown focused mediations, crown visualization, high level esoteric study, and all mind altering substances. Re establishing the ascending path. In legitimate spiritual systems, energy must build from the ground up, from the root to the crown. If the crown is distorted, reroute all attention to the root chakra. Physical labor, contact with nature, gardening, and grounding foods. Embrace the ordinary, chopping wood, carrying water. Counter, counteract spiritual grandiosity by engaging in humble, mundane, and practical service to others. Mundane daily chores act as powerful medicine for an overinflated, ungrounded crown. Physical body integration. Engage in somatic practices that force awareness into muscles and bones. Weightlifting, barefoot walking, hot baths with Epsom salt, and regular, dense meals to anchor the spirit securely back into its physical container. Ultimately, repairing a distorted and fragmented crown chakra demands the humility to pull consciousness back down from abstract cosmic heights and anchor it firmly in the physical world. True divine realization is not found in fleeing the human condition through messianic grandiosity or spiritual apathy, but in recognizing the sacred within the mundane, proving that the highest expression of cosmic unity is not dissolving into the void, but fully inhabiting the present moment here on earth. And if you liked today's video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, goodbye.